Hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to Sassy Sacred Serendipities. I am Andrew. I will be your host of one, but I feel like we're all one, right? So, yes, let's dig deep into it. I want to start just by kind of saying this has been something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I have learned that I myself learn through conversation, and it's not to say that experiences and insight themselves isn't gonna bring you growth or bring you knowledge. I've just learned that with me just talking to someone and being able to get their point of view, being able to express how I feel, being able to say what it is that's on my mind freely without judgment, it's helped me tremendously. The amount of growth that happens in those spaces in that time and during those engagements that I have with people have been so beautiful, and it's made me wonder that there has to be more people like me, right? There seems to be a lot of people that are really just don't talk a lot, right? The art of conversation is truly lost nowadays, and we see it in our society, and I think a lot of us long for it. So yes, so that's what brings us here. I'm starting this podcast for that reason. Hopefully people I know, people I care for, people could take away something from this and come back better. I hope that by me just being transparent with you about my struggles, about what it is I'm going through, about my hardships and how life has been with me could hopefully help you in some way. And that's just the goal that we have here. So I wanted to start by saying, first and foremost, right? I'm not doing this to like give anyone advice. You know, I don't want people to think that I'm trying to tell you what to do or how to live your life or what it is that you need to change about yourself. This is strictly for me. I mean, if it serves you, then that's awesome. I'm very thankful and grateful to be able to have enough correlation with my life and your life, right? That we have enough in common that my struggles are able to help you. But I don't want it to ever be seen as like I have it, like this is advice or this is me telling you what to do, because we're all different. All of our lives are so different. The way we live is different. Our struggles could be identical, but the way we felt and how we take it, what we learn from it is different. So please don't ever view these conversations and these takeaways from my life as something that I want to push on you. If it fits for you, if it helps you, if you could relate to it, then that's awesome. But if not, just sit back and listen to the story. What else do we have? Special thanks. Yeah. Hi. Shout out to Max in the background. We're shooting this in the backyard of my house. This is where this is starting, and honestly I wouldn't want it any other way. To be submerged outside with nature, to be able to be in a place that I love, surrounded by people I care for. It's an amazing place to start, so thank you. Special shout out to just everybody that's been telling me to do this. I feel like there's been so many people that just are like, you need to start your podcast, and it's like, and it's never in a sense of like, hey, you're being fucking lazy, start your shit. It's more in the sense of like, I know it's something you're excited about. I know it's something that you really love. I know it's something that you want to chase, fulfill, accomplish, do whatever it might be. So start it. So thank you to all those people. Thank you to everyone who has been motivation for me, you know, who has helped motivate me, has just kind of been there along the whole way. And I want to start this podcast just by saying a little prayer. I wouldn't say like, oh, a God prayer, like nothing like that. My prayers are more of just me having a lot of gratitude in my life. So yeah, let's go ahead and start. So, dear universe, thank you so much for this ability and space that we have right here. I am so thankful for the time, energy, and capacity that you have given me and blessed me with to be able to share these thoughts, these feelings, and move into this train of action. May everyone listening in receive this message in the best of health, wealth, and spirit. May we all prosper, and may we all see our life flourish and cherish the ones we care for. May our days be filled with joy. May the words we hear be filled with love, and may the emotions we feel take care of us internally. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so this is the first couple episodes. I've been writing down some stuff, things that happen at like life. I try to take this around with me most places. Pink Llama Gang. Just to kind of sit here and be able to track thoughts, track words, track interactions. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that happens that we don't really remember. There's so many valuable life lessons and everywhere, and there's times when we just kind of let them go or don't cherish them, don't give them the respect and value that they need. And yeah, this is me just upholding myself to that part. I wish I would have done this prior, so yeah, we're doing it now. This was a really good one. I wanted to start this podcast with a conversation that I really, really enjoy, but it's basically how it's not our job to change people. We often perceive that by helping people change, that we're trying to show them we love them, right? We're trying to, I don't know, did it cut out? Maybe. I think it's just our job to love people. It is so easy to want more, expect more, demand more. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with having boundaries. There's nothing wrong with having knowing your worth or what it is that you're willing to accept. Nothing in that sense am I trying to take away from anybody, but more so we should just act out of love. We shouldn't sit here, and I think it's so easy to judge people and try to just put ourselves in their position is what I'm trying to say. Think about how you would be, what it is, if you've ever been like that, if there's ever been a time and place where you could relate to how they're acting or what they did or what they said. And I feel like that's what it means to act out of love. I could easily get upset because someone didn't text me back, or I could easily get mad because someone didn't clean up their dishes or whatever it might be. But I feel like, is that really love, or what is that? Because at the first moment of difficulties, or at the first moment of them showing that they're human, which we all are, we're all humans and we all have faults and we all do things that may not be pleasable to others, we judge them instead of just trying to accept them for how it is. There's so much more beauty in accepting people for how they are versus trying to change people into something that we want. I definitely feel I see that very often. My guys are out here doing grass, so who knows, they might need me to leave. Okay. Yeah, this is a really good one. I really wanted to talk about this. So I want to say that I feel like emotions are super dope. And not in the sense of like being emotional is cool, which I do think being emotional is cool. But like I said, this is a different conversation for a different time. More so that I think being aware of your emotions is dope. I think being an emotional aware person, an emotional intelligent person is awesome. There's nothing better than being able to understand why you feel the way you do, or why you think what you're thinking, why you're acting a certain way. I think that is so beautiful. There's so much awesomeness to that, right? It's so profound to be able to look at yourself and be like, I'm acting like this because this reminds me of when I was a kid and, I got mistreated, or this reminds me of being ignored or not being told that I don't have a voice, whatever it might be. But being able to self-reflect and look at yourself internally while you're going through those things, I think is such an amazing experience, and it helps give us back our power. It It helps us take back our energy instead of just letting any situation that triggers us or takes us out of character take away, our spirit and our energy that we are trying to keep sacred, All right, let's see. Oh, yes. Okay. So if we aren't expressing it, I think we're repressing it. This is something for me that I feel like I still struggle with, Like I grew up in a society, and as a young man, I was taught to not share emotions. I was taught to kind of just suck it up and do what needed to be done. There wasn't much empathy for young men when I grew up, and in the environment that I grew up, it was very, very toxic, very malicious, very ego-driven. We definitely did not have the brotherhood that we should have had, and now I think about that, how it's like, dang, because of what I went through for so long, I could look back and see how it's hard for me to open up. I could see how it's difficult for me to be able to express how I feel freely because sorry, you guys, technical difficulties. I'm gonna take this off real fast. What was I saying? So I was basically saying how because of how I grew up, I'm able to look back at it and understand that it's not always okay to do the same things you did at a certain point in time to protect yourself, right? There's nothing wrong with us protecting ourselves in, toxic environments and being in abusive relationships and having narcissistic parents. And there's certain things and certain stuff that we have to develop internally to be able to cope with these things at a younger age. So I don't want you guys to feel as that like, oh, he doesn't understand. I don't get it. I completely understand, and I totally get it from all aspects, from feeling neglected as a child to growing up in a gang-ridden environment, from being in an abusive relationship, a little bit of everything. So I could totally get why we do these coping mechanisms. It's how we survive. It's how we're able to keep sane in a chaotic world. But when we leave those environments, and when we are no longer in imminent danger or emotional danger or spiritual danger, right? It is up to us to go back and relearn these things. It is up to us to sit here and figure out, is this serving me or is it serving something else? Because at the end of the day, if it's not serving you and your highest power, then what is it serving? What is it honoring? What is it really doing for us? So this takes us to point number 2 about how we should not be ashamed of our past. I often feel that a lot of us look at things we went through or experiences that we kind of had to, that we didn't have to, but I feel like it was part of our journey. We experienced them and we shame them and we demoralize them, and in exchange, right, I think we take away so much of the beauty that happened from that. Like, there's always something to learn. There's always something that we experience and that we grow from. And if nothing else, right, we come out a stronger, more resilient, better, well-adapted human to be able to deal with environments that maybe not everyone would, like going through things that would break people and coming out a survivor and sane is something to be proud about. It's something to realize and give yourself thanks for. Have some grace for yourself. We go through things and then we want to reject those parts that we went through, but we don't realize they got us to where we are at right now. They are the reason for our thinking now. And although not all of it might serve us, that doesn't mean that there's not little nuggets of gold within those things that we went through. That doesn't mean that we can't sit here and turn a loss into a lesson. All these things that is just, it's so easy to just get upset and not like what happened and just totally not want to forget about it and let's just keep going. But that takes away a lot of the beauty, or at least that's the way I feel about it. They're coming, hold on. Alright, I think we still got a little bit of time. So, yeah, let's see what else we got right here. Sorry if the nip gets freed. It's fucking beautiful outside, so I'm trying to wear as least clothes possible. I told myself this year was gonna be the year that I literally did not wear anything. So, if you see me wearing clothes, you should be grateful, alright? Okay, so a little weird point right here. I'm trying to figure out where I was trying to go when I read that, because from the last comment, I was basically talking about how there's always a silver lining in everything that transpires in our life, and sometimes we're unable to view it or feel it or understand it. But not saying ignore your intuition, right? I think our intuition is very, very strong 9 times out of 10, even when we don't listen to it all the fucking time. I think I hear people talk about, it's like, oh man, I felt like I shouldn't have done this, like I knew I shouldn't have bought that, I knew I shouldn't have met up with this person, whatever the hell it was, right? And it's like, when I feel when they say it, that they don't mean it, that they do mean it, sorry, that they actually mean wholeheartedly, that they knew it. So it's like, if we all know these things, if we all feel these ways, if this is something that we are aware of, why do we ignore it? Like, why do we reject the truth? Or why do we, tell ourselves no? Like, I am working on learning my intuition myself. So this is something new for me. This is something that me talking about really helps me question myself, because there's definitely a lot of times I'm like, I should do this, or I should go there, or I should say this, and then I don't do it, and I'm like, why didn't I do that? Why did I sit here and not honor my intuition when I knew? And sometimes it's beneficial, sometimes it's not, but regardless of whether it's good or bad, I think there's a lesson behind it that was meant to be learned. So yeah, don't ignore your intuition, you guys. It's pretty good 9 times out of 10. Ooh, no, that's episode 2. So lately I have been finding so much joy in my daily habits, and it's weird to think about, because it's not anything that's like, I don't win the lotto every day. I don't sit here and freaking like wake up in a dream house every day. There's nothing that's, my dishes aren't made out of China. Like, but I have found profound joy in loving what I do and being able to just appreciate everything, regardless of whether it is where I want to be at for the rest of my life or not. That doesn't mean I shouldn't be grateful for where I'm at. So, yeah, just being grateful for having a roof over my head has been a huge blessing lately. It's weird to think about, right? But I'm like, I've woken up and I've said thanks for having fingers, for having scent, for being able to see and being able to feel, being able to talk. The fact that my lungs did their job while I slept, that I didn't have a heart attack in the middle of the night, that I didn't get eaten, or whatever it might be. Like, just all the small things that we just don't even think about, but it's like they're a blessing to us, at least. If we didn't experience those, then it's a blessing. And if we did experience some of those things, then maybe there's a lesson, but yeah, like, going to the gym has been godsend for me, for my mental, for my spiritualness, for everything. It has literally helped me out in so many aspects. Me finding out about journaling has been amazing. Having a place or an outlet somewhere where I could just express myself freely, and I don't have to tell anybody. I don't have to show anybody. I don't have to sit here and express anything to another person. I could just do it myself. And then I feel like by doing that, I'm like talking to myself, and I'm talking to parts of myself, and I'm touching parts of myself that I can't just access easily in our everyday life. So definitely lots of huge stuff. Cooking for myself, oh my gosh, dude. Cooking for myself has been absolutely, I mean, it fucking sucks doing dishes, I won't lie. So see, I'll level with you guys, because I hear people talk about like, how can you like to cook, or how do you enjoy it? Because it is a fucking pain in the ass at times, right? I think it's an artistic creation and a form of expression that we have to put together on this fucking plate, and we're gonna serve it to people. We're gonna sit here and let them taste it, let them have it, whatever the hell it might be. But it's not just something that you fucking put together and voila, it's done. You know, it takes a little bit of stuff. So I won't lie, dishes suck. Cooking is fun. Cooking makes me feel like I'm healing myself, you know? I am taking care of myself by providing myself a nutritious meal. I'm taking the time to make sure everything tastes good, and to make sure that what I am eating is enjoyable and it's well balanced, and it's been really nice. So just I always say, let's try to find some stuff we love to do, and let's just fucking let our life just flow with it. Let's just let it consume our day-to-days. Like, why is it that I can't just do stuff I love, you know? Why is it that I can't just sit here and literally have a day filled with cool activities that I absolutely love to do and that bring me so much bliss and joy? Why is it that I can't read the book I want to, and journal when I want to, and fly a kite if I want to? Like, all these things are things that we have access to, but I feel like we have forgotten that there's a lot of satisfaction that comes from it. It doesn't have to be just get money, buy stuff, do things. Like, there is such a wide lens of things that we can do that really bring purpose to our soul. So that's what I'm starting to realize, little by little. I want to add this to my weekly things I'm doing because I enjoy it. I actually feature in another podcast with my good friends, Mr. Andrew Beach and Senor Chase. So yeah, we are on Riverside FM, Smooth Talkers. And doing that with them just made me realize, like, bro, I fucking love that. That was awesome, you know? Oh, is there a mosquito on me? It made me realize that I really enjoy talking, just talking, you know, learning people's perspectives. And it's something that I've been aware of for a while. Like, anytime someone says some real deep shit, anytime someone is willing to be vulnerable and transparent about what it is that they got going on, and there's just so much power behind that. There's so much of the magnetic field is so strong when someone knows and is sure of themselves that they're willing to let you into their struggle, let you into their battle, let you into what it is that they have fought or what they are currently doing, you know? That's amazing. So shout out to all the people that inspire me on a day-to-day basis. I love you guys. Oh, yes, sir. We got like 2-3 more points. This is kind of interesting. This brings me to one of the points I really like. It's okay to change. I know it sounds weird. I know people think like, oh, it's fake, you know? Like, I met you this way. I met you this way. You need to stay this way. And I'm not saying that we can't stay the same. I'm just saying that if you feel the need to change, and if you want to change, it's okay to change. You don't let other people's perception of you stop you from growing into the person you're meant to be. Don't let the obligations that others have lined up for you be the reason that you don't fulfill or do the tasks that you long to do. And this coming from someone who is a huge fucking people pleaser. Like, oh my God, I lived my whole life trying to please everybody else, trying to make everybody else happy, trying to be the reason for someone's joy or be the escape for somebody, when the whole time I was just trying to escape myself. I wasn't being honest with myself, and it brought me temporary satisfaction, but at the cost of my happiness. I gave up ultimate happiness. I gave up unlimited happiness to be able to access temporary happiness that internally I had the whole time, because I had this thought in my head that I had to be this person for this. I had to be the friend that this person needed. I needed to be the elder that this person needed. And it was like, dude, so much pressure for what? I didn't serve them at all, because at a certain point in time I acted out of spite. It built resentment within me because I wasn't being true to myself. So at the end of the day, all I did was hurt two people. I hurt myself for an extended period of time, and then I hurt them by showing them and giving them this unrealistic expectation of who I was, when it wasn't who I really was. It was just who I attempted to be accepted and welcome. And if there's anything I've learned now, it's that the right ones are going to accept you. The right ones will be there for you. The right ones are always going to love you and cherish you and just absolutely adore you at all of it, in your worst, in your best, in your darkest, in your lightest. At times where you can't seem to love yourself, I promise that they will love you. And that's taught me to honor myself, to be real with myself, to sit here and do these things that old me didn't really quite want to do. And changing is hard. I won't sit here and lie to everyone and make it seem like changing's easy. It is. It's a reason why it's called change, right? Because it's something that's already going on. But just like the seasons change, sometimes we just gotta allow it. We just have to let it flow and be part of us. We just have to accept that change is inevitable, and to try to stop it would be pointless. How does everyone here feel about... I want to kind of stir the pot a little bit and ask a question, and please feel free to comment, to sit here and say, express how you feel or what it is that you think about that. But the more I try to heal myself and love myself, right, the more I realize my discomfort around people who are struggling. And it's not that it brings me uneasiness or anything. It's more so that I need to sit with those parts of myself that are uncomfortable, that I am working on healing, in order to show them I love them. I think it's very easy for people just to be like, here, take this, do this. And we want to fix everybody. We want to sit here and give people the magic answer and show people the way. And I really do feel like that's a shortcut to love. We want them to live a good life. We don't want them to struggle. We don't want them to suffer. But I feel like once you've experienced all those things and you learn from it, you wouldn't trade it for the world. And I think people who have suffered and haven't accepted what it was or what happened or how it helped them develop as a person, I think these are the people that want to run away from struggle, that want to run away from hardship, that don't want to sit here and deal with it. But it's like there's so much beauty in all of that, right? There's so much growth and everything that happens. And I've learned now, and I'm attempting to be more patient with the people I love. I don't want to tell you what's right or tell you what's wrong. I just want to accept you. I just want to love you for who you are. I want to be able to see you make your mistakes and still laugh and hug you on the way there. I don't want to get upset because you're human. I want to accept your humanness, and by doing that, I hope that you could feel what it is to be loved unconditionally without the obligation of showing up as a certain person or doing a certain thing or not making mistakes, because that's so much pressure on a person to bear, to think that we are only going to receive love or get love or worthy of love when we do these things. It's just like perfectionism. It's unreal. All right, you guys, I think we're at the last bullet point. Woo, that went by fast. So obviously I did 2 pages. I think I might have to do like 3 pages, 3 to 4 pages if I'm trying to go for 30 to 40 minutes. But you know what? We here. Okay. Dang, that was so fast. Okay. I guess this is it, you guys. I just want to say bye. Thank you to everyone who joined in. Thank you again to everyone who's been rooting for me, supporting me, and telling me to fucking go for it. I am so uberly grateful for you guys. I cannot wait to continue this journey. I cannot wait to be able to explore the way we feel, the way we're connected, the way we are similar, and I can't wait to see all the awesome things that we're gonna do for each other, and if not for anybody, for me. So that in itself is worth it. So with that being said, I love you guys.